Well, I am very happy to say that having seen these episodes of The Boys, I am hooked. So I have not seen the earlier episodes, so I got to do a lot of catching up. And one of the reasons I didn't want to see The Boys is like I have no time on my hands, so it's going to be an insane amount of effort just to catch up. But is it worth it? Yes, from these three episodes, I was insanely entertained. These were funny, energetic, kinetic. And again, I obviously have to do a lot of catching up. But once you know the basics, and it's actually not that hard because Homelander is such a central character to all these stories and plots. And I think the performance there by the lead actor is insanely good. I'm still surprised people don't get the joke that Homelander is basically a supervillain. So, what is The Boys if you're completely new? Well, it's based on a very intriguing comic book by Garth Ennis. And like Garth, this thing is very dark, a lot of black humor, very, very R to X rated, a lot of foul humor, a lot of nudity. It's just insane stuff is happening. That said, the comic book is slightly better. I've only read the early comics, but those are very powerful. They're very vicious, so it's not for everyone, but it's a very bleak look at how superheroes would operate in the real world. That said, this is not Alan Moore. It's not trying to be deconstructionist. It's not really trying to be an intellectual approach. It is very just a joking, mocking look at superhero antics. And the lead is Homelander, who has his basically superhero team, which is really filled with supervillains, slash corporation, in the way it's threatening America and the CIA and the government. And those are not good guys. There are no heroes here. These are not good guys versus bad guys, just very flawed individuals clashing with one another. And I did find the addition of some new characters very intriguing. That said, it will really depend on what you feel about Homelander. And I think, again, this is a very extreme character, but I was, for the most part, pretty engaged, and I was very, very invested in the stories. And there are major twists. I can't really say too much about the story because even hinting at what may happen will spoil some of the surprises. That said, were there some major flaws? A lot of people are praising the action scenes, but I would say the action scenes, especially the CGI and special effects, are really weak. And again, I'm new to The Boys, so I want to be careful. I don't want to make these big generalizations, but it felt kind of cheap and small. Like there are these crowds, and I get it, it's Hollywood. Yeah, obviously. We have extras. They just felt very hastily constructed. Like there's really nothing special about the direction. It is focused mainly on performances. That's fine. But there's nothing really intriguing about the camera angles. It's very functional. It just moves on from scene to scene. So the editing and special effects are fairly weak. And the directors don't seem to bring any real individual style to the episodes. But the plot is solid. The acting is strong. The performances are very charismatic. So I'm going to give The Boys an 8 out of 10. This is early in the season, but I am hooked on. So this is far superior to The Acolyte and much, much better than House of the Dragon. If you had to rank it, I'd go with The Boys first. Give that a try. Even if this is you just jumping in like I am, it is worth it. Yes, it'll be a little confusing, but I think they did enough to catch people up. So there we are with The Boys, starting off strong, and I hope it finishes strong as well.